Tonight on News Around the World. President Tinubu swears in Disu as 23rd IGP. Oyo police rescue kidnapped victim in Igbeti. On the foreign scene, 11 killed in fresh Israeli strikes. Good evening and welcome to News Around the World here on BCOS television. I am Idowu Shikoni. The sign language interpreter is Korede Oluleye. President Bola Tinubu has sworn in Olatunji Disu as the substantive Inspector General of Police, IGP, during a ceremony held at the Council Chambers State House in Abuja. Disu took the oath of office following the reading of his citation by the State House Director of Information and Public Relations, Mr. Abiodun Oladunjoye. The ceremony was witnessed by Vice President Kashim Shettima, cabinet members, and other dignitaries. Immediately after these swearing in, the president also swore in newly appointed commissioners of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, as well as the Federal Civil Service Commission. The ceremony preceded the commencement of the Federal Executive Council meeting as the issue pledged to end the era of impunity within the force and enforce zero tolerance for corruption and human rights abuses. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, on Wednesday inaugurated an 8-member committee to oversee the implementation of state police and the rollout of its policing vision. This follows its confirmation as the 23rd Indigenous IGP, with Professor Olu Ogunshakin appointed to lead the 8-member State Police Committee. Addressing the top hierarchy of the force, the IGP said leadership is not about position, but responsibility. He stressed that professionalism and accountability must guide conduct and operations across commands nationwide. IGP Disu also announced plans to strengthen internal oversight, directing that the Public Complaint Unit and X-Squad be empowered to operate independently. The Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, has taken over the prosecution of his immediate predecessor, Abubakar Malami. Malami faces terrorism and illegal firearms possession charges brought against him by the Department of State Services, DSS. Fagbemi took over the trial from the DSS on Wednesday at the Federal High Court in Abuja. The Director of Public Prosecution of the Federation, Rotimi Oyedepo, announced the Attorney General's appearance in the matter. Oyedepo told Justice Joyce Abdul Malik that the trial could not proceed because Fagbemi has just taken over the prosecution. He informed the courts that the prosecution needed more time to familiarize itself with the facts of the case. Justice Abdul Malik subsequently adjourned the matter to the 10th of March for trial and for the prosecution to formally open its case. The Oyo State Police Command has confirmed the successful rescue of a kidnapped victim in Igbeti area of the state. According to a press release signed by the Police Public Relations Officer, DSP Ayolade Olayinka, the abduction of 30-year-old Alhaji Gede Yusuf of Old Oyo National Park, Dauda Village via Igbeti was reported at the Igbeti Divisional Police Headquarters. The report prompted an immediate and coordinated response by the command in collaboration with other security agencies and non-state actors. It added that the intense pressure mounted by the Joint Security Team forced the kidnappers to abandon the victim, who was subsequently rescued unarmed. The Commissioner of Police in Oyo State, Femi Haruna, has ordered the interrogation of the victim as investigations continue, with a mandate to track down, arrest, and prosecute all those responsible for the crime. Meanwhile, the Oyo State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of a suspect over the alleged killing of his elder brother in Shepateri area of Oyo State. According to a press release issued by the command's public relations officer, DSP Ayinlade Olayinka, the tragic incident was reported at the Agwamodu Divisional Police Headquarters in Shepateri. The suspect, Latif Sulaiman, aged 43, was said to have attacked his elder brother, Mustafa Amidu, aged 52, following an accusation that the deceased had shot him in a dream while he slept the previous night. Police reports indicate that the suspect allegedly approached his brother where he was seated, picked up a heavy rock, struck him on the head, and fled the scene. The victim was immediately rushed to a nearby hospital in Shepateri for medical attention, but was later confirmed dead by the doctor on duty. The suspect has since been arrested and is said to have confessed to the crime while cooperating with investigators for thorough and discreet investigation. You're watching News Around the World on BCOS television. We have a short commercial break. Please stay tuned.
Stains and dust don't go on break.
So whiten your whites with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo. Protect your home every day with Hypo.
No green. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo.
Alright everyone, no put your ears, make we talk. Time don't reach to rearrange his house to give una small wisdom. Shout my teeth fresh now, but you know own, I beg no be so. Before una go talk, say our smile no reach. Make una think I'm twice so. Ever heard of Colgate, the #1 oral care brand in the world?
Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection unlocks 24 hours cavity defense. The formula boost with calcium for lifelong smiles.
Mom, it's your time to brush. No more cover mouth.
Colgate for 24 hours maximum cavity protection.
Cadbury 3-in-1 hot chocolate, the treat you deserve.
My skin is my identity, my strength. It's unique and deserves care made specially for me. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow, enriched with 95% pure vitamin C and pulp extract. For visibly radiant and even-toned skin in just 2 weeks. New Nivea Radiant and Beauty Even Glow, for your shade of beautiful.
With Nivea Dry Deo, you can keep moving forward in life with confidence. Nivea Dry Deo. Derma 72-hour active protection against sweat and odor with 0% alcohol to prevent irritation. Stay dry and fresh all day long. Skin is for moving forward, Nivea is for skin. Your favorite Nivea Deo, now in a smaller pack size.
Protect every day with Hypo. Dirty and stains no fit do us shakara. We got the remedy, original palasa. Hypo, go Hypo. Protect your home every day with Hypo.
No green. Protect every day with Hypo.
Hypo, go Hypo.
Welcome back. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has raised the alarm over what it called unnecessary litigation, with billions of naira already expended, as well as internal leadership crisis rocking political parties. The commission noted that the situation is threatening its commitment to democratic consolidation in the country. INEC Chairman Professor Joash Amukbiton raised the concern at the technical workshop on revision of INEC regulations and guidelines for political parties held in Ikotekpene, Akwa Ibom State on Wednesday. Amukbiton lamented that a day spent in defending these intra-party disputes in court is a day diverted from the primary mandate of election planning. He expressed confidence that the workshop will systematically analyze the key provisions of the new Electoral Act and identify necessary amendments to the existing regulations and guidelines for political parties. The federal government has intensified efforts to reposition Nigeria as a continental industrial hub. This comes as the Minister of Steel Development, Shuaibu Audu, in Germany, declared that the country is ready to move beyond raw material exports and is seeking credible long-term investors to unlock its $10 billion annual steel market. In a statement issued on Wednesday by the ministry's Director of Information and Public Relations, Salamatu Jibaniya, the minister spoke at the Nigeria-German Economic Forum in Dortmund. Audu outlined what he described as a strategic shift from extractive exports to value addition. He further stressed that Nigeria's vast mineral reserves and growing domestic demand presents a generational investment opportunity. The United States Embassy in Nigeria has cancelled all visa appointments scheduled for Wednesday, the 4th of March 2026. The move was made as the embassy cited a high potential for protests in Abuja amid escalating hostilities between the United States and Iran, noting that previous demonstrations by some groups in the capital had turned violent. Disclosing this in a statement via its website on Wednesday, the embassy warned of potential demonstrations in the federal capital territory, calling on American citizens to remain indoors. The warning comes 4 days after U.S.-Israel airstrikes targeted and killed Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Several other high-ranking Iranian officials were also said to have been killed in the strikes, triggering swift retaliation from Tehran. Angered by the development, Iran launched multiple missiles targeting U.S. bases in Gulf countries, vowing to avenge the death of its supreme leader and other regime officials. Away from that, the Nigerian government has announced a fresh tax collection framework to expand its tax net into small businesses. This was disclosed in a statement on Wednesday on Nigeria's Finance Ministry's X account. The policy is expected to make tax payments simplified for traders, artisans, and other micro-enterprises. Speaking on the new system, the Executive Secretary of the Joint Revenue Board, Mr. Olusegun Adesokan, said it prohibits the use of roadblocks by tax officials to collect levies. Also, Minister of Finance Wale Edun said the presumptive tax regime is meant to provide a simple and fair system for small businesses. Nigeria is charting a path towards a sustainable future through strategic collaborations and specialized training in engineering and technology. These views were shared by Chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, Ibadan Chapter, Engineer Gabriel Olaifa, the Dean of Engineering and Technology at the Abiola Ajimobi Technical University, Professor Oyetunde Adiaga, while featuring on BCOS's Current Affairs Breakfast Program, AM 120. BCOS reporter Fedora Afolagboye monitored the program. Here is our report.
World Engineering Day, observed every March 4, celebrates the critical role of engineers in shaping a sustainable world. The 2026 theme, Smart Engineering for Sustainable Future Through Innovation and Digitalization, underscores the importance of technology-driven solutions in addressing climate change, infrastructure deficits, and broader development challenges. Speaking on AM 120, Chairman of NIEE Ibadan Chapter, Engineer Gabriel Olaifa, described engineering as the foundation of modern civilization. He emphasized the need to promote digital literacy across all engineering disciplines, noting that embracing innovation and technology is key to achieving sustainability.
In the whole world, the basics of life is engineering. The basics of life is engineering. And, we need to create awareness for people to know that we are moving from the ways we are doing things. Engineering is civilization, and civilization is engineering. So engineering brings civilization to the world. Whatever we are doing is basically because of engineers that are improving on technology on everyday basis. So, and that is the reason why the need to celebrate engineers that are doing these wonderful things and to promote them to the world and let the world realize that we have people that are behind this civilization.
Also on the program, Professor Oyetunde Adeaga of Abiola Ajimobi Technical University acknowledged that while Nigeria is yet to fully attain its smart engineering goals, steady progress is being made. He explained the training facilities and equipment are increasingly available and efforts are ongoing to expand access where resources are limited. Professor Adeaga added that sustained advocacy and investment in innovation will further accelerate national development.
When you talk about being digitally literate, I mean, we are not playing with that because we know that is actually the next future. Because we have the next future and we have the far future. Being digitally literate is the next future. And what do we mean by being digitally literate? I mean, you should be able to convert most of the things within you to a language that could be understood by a computer, because that is the next world. So artificial intelligence is actually our hallmark, and that's why we can come up with smart devices as innovation. And if you look at the curriculum of training now in Nigeria, because the initial one is being phased out, which was actually knowledge-based, we are now moving to outcome-based now. In outcome-based education, which is what we are actually, working on now, you don't just say, I'm a theoretical person. You come out, incorporating your soft skills, incorporating your hard knowledge, and come up with something that is going to solve immediate problem.
Both guests expressed optimism that with continued collaboration, capacity building, and digital transformation, Nigeria is steadily advancing toward a sustainable future across critical sectors. Fidora Afolagwe, BCOS News.
We have another timeout. News around the world. We'll be right back. Please don't go away.
You can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys.
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria.
Coleman!
Attacking the parasite army directly to give you express relief and get you back on your feet effectively. Comel on malaria gone.
All right, everyone, no put your ears, make we talk. Time don't reach to rearrange his house to give us small wisdom. Shout my tea fresh now, but you know, I beg no be so. Before when I go talk, say our smile no reach. Make not think I'm try so. Ever heard of Colgate, the #1 oral care brand in the world?
Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection unlocks 24 hours cavity defense. The formula boost with calcium for lifelong smiles.
Mom, it's a time to brush. No more for my cover mouth.
Colgate for 24 hours maximum cavity protection.
This Ramadan, it's not the season to hide, it's the season to let my beauty shine. Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Lotion 5-in-1 Complete Care. Discover deep nourishment with cocoa butter, deep moisture serum, and vitamin E for long-lasting moisture and protection from dry and ashy skin without the greasy feel. Get the Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Glow this Ramadan. Skin is for always shining. Nivea is for skin.
Many thanks for staying tuned. Medical services at the University College Hospital, UCH, Ibadan, have been disrupted as resident doctors commenced a 5-day warning strike over what they described as prolonged and inadequate electricity supply. The doctors noted that persistent power challenges have severely affected healthcare delivery, training, and overall patient care at the tertiary institution. BCOS's Bimesola Adebayo reports.
President of the Association of Resident Doctors at the University College Hospital, Ibadan, Dr. Uthman Adediji, while speaking on the ongoing warning strike, said the crisis began in 2024 when the hospital reportedly experienced about 102 days of blackout following disconnection by the IBEDC over alleged accrued debts. He alleged that since reconnection, electricity supply has been rationed to between 6 and 8 hours daily, despite repeated efforts by the association to engage hospital management and relevant authorities. According to him, the matter was later resolved after the intervention of the Minister of Power, leading to the restoration of supply. However, he maintained that although electricity was at some point increased to about 10 hours daily, it remains grossly inadequate for a tertiary health facility of UCH's capacity. Dr. Adediji alleged that unstable power supply has resulted in cancelled surgery, disrupted lectures, and residency training, as well as delays in critical laboratory investigations.
We had a lot of meetings with management to express our displeasure over this matter. And unfortunately, it kept on like that. There was lack of communication. We're having 6 hours of electricity in a teaching hospital. That is the last resort for a lot of the citizens of the country. So we have situations where surgeries are being delayed, are being postponed. Sometimes the theater sessions are put into disarray because the schedules are not being followed due to lack of electricity. Important to also mention that we kept engaging the management, we kept advocacy from 8 hours, we got to 10 hours of electricity per day that is being orchestrated by UCH management. So, but we realized that trainings are not going on in the hospital. People are supposed to see sophisticated procedures, surgeries, investigations are not being done because there is no electricity to do them. So we kept agitating, we kept giving ultimatum over ultimatum, and then we're not getting results.
Also speaking, the General Secretary of the UCH Association of Resident Doctors, Mary Awodiji, said the strike has both professional and personal implications for doctors.
With the rationing of light, theaters are not functioning optimally. Then, as a consequence, there's no water within the hospital as well. So this has also impeded patient safety as well as professional safety. We don't have enough patients to carry on with our trainings. Procedures are getting longer than they should. And then even investigations that needed to be done are not being carried out as at when due. So with all this, with the consequence of having no water, which also predisposes to having infections amongst ourselves, we felt it was too much.
As at the time of filing this report, efforts to reach the public relations officer of the institution for comments were unsuccessful. The 5-day warning strike is expected to end on Friday, with resident doctors scheduled to resume duties by 8 a.m. on Monday as discussions continue among stakeholders to address the lingering electricity supply concerns. Bimsola Adebayo, BCOS News.
The speed at which people ignore the neglected tropical diseases, NTDs, has called for urgent attention, particularly in tropical and low-income communities. According to health experts, the impact of these diseases remains significant. They call for increased awareness and stronger commitment towards the prevention and elimination of NTDs. Staff reporter Oyeshile Oloyede brings the details.
Neglected tropical diseases may not dominate headlines like malaria or COVID-19, yet their burden is enormous. These diseases affect over 1 billion people globally, with the majority living in low incomes and underserved communities. Poor sanitation, contaminated water, and limited access to healthcare provide fertile ground for the spread of these infections. Children are particularly vulnerable, often missing school due to illness, while adults may suffer chronic pain, disability, and in some cases, social stigma. Speaking with BCS News, the NTD coordinator at the Oyo State Primary Health Care level, Mr. Tunji Oladoyinbo, explained that neglected tropical diseases comprise 21 conditions that predominantly affect people in tropical and economical disadvantaged areas. He noted that they are described as neglected because they receive less global attention and funding despite affecting millions of people. According to him, the diseases are transmitted through mosquitoes, black flies, contaminated water, and poor environmental conditions.
But that is of these tropical diseases, it affects us here in the tropical area, and it affects the less privileged people, poor or the poorest. So, and it affects where the environment is a little bit poor. So that's why. And most of these diseases, as I mentioned, I said 21 in number. These diseases are being categorized into two. Number one, we call one group preventive chemotherapy NTD. There are 5 in numbers. Like 1, schistosomiasis, 2, lymphatic filariasis, 3, soil-transmitted hepatitis, 4, onchocerciasis, 5, trachoma. So among all these 5, 4 are common in Oyo State here. Are common in Oyo State, except trachoma, that is common in the northern parts of Nigeria among our brethren. So others, the remaining, are being called chemotherapy entity. That is, we are not praying to occur, but when it occurred, we pray. We want people to go to the hospital for treatment, that is management. So example are snake bites, dog bites, guinea worm, yaw, human Africa trypanosomiasis.
Further stress that if left untreated, NTDs can lead to blindness, physical deformities, disabilities, stigma, and even death. However, he emphasized that they are largely prevented through proper hygiene, clean environment, access to safe water, use of treated mosquito net, and prompt medical attention.
Each disease has its own specific, just like lymphatic filariasis is being transmitted by mosquito. Mosquito is the vector that take it from the host to another. If environment is clean, if there's no weedy environment, so there won't be any habitat for mosquito to thrive. If environment is neat, so then if environment is neat, so there won't be a breeding space for black fly.
Sustained awareness campaign, improved sanitation, and active community participation are critical steps toward eliminating neglected tropical diseases and improving public health outcomes. Oyeshile Oloyede, BCOS News.
You're still watching News Around the World on BCOS Television. We have yet another commercial break. Please don't go away.
Mr. Chef, it's a 2-finger crush.
Pass me the chicken and all purpose.
Mama Maka, we got this.
With Mr. Chef, a simple crush turns meals into culture and moments into memories.
This is the true taste of home
and culture.
Mr. Chef, taste home, taste culture.
Supermalt Multivitamin Junior.
a participating Coca-Cola glass or PET bottle and stand a chance to win your share of 600 million naira in cash and seriously tasty prizes. There's 2 new millionaires every single day, plus over 50 million naira in weekly prizes. It's easy. Scan the QR code. Find your unique code under the cap or tab and check to see if you've won. Coca-Cola, a recipe for wonder.
Great to have you back. In recent years, several public figures have faced backlash after old social media posts resurfaced, a reminder that in today's digital age, information rarely stays buried. The case of financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein underscores how records, associations, and documented interactions can affect reputations long after events have occurred. BCOS reporter Fedora Folagboye examines how lessons from that case extend into today's digital world.
From old tweets to archived court records, the past can resurface in unexpected ways. The so-called Epstein files, documents released from investigations and court proceedings linked to Jeffrey Epstein, illustrates how both legal and digital records can re-emerge years later and influence public perception. Jeffrey Epstein was a wealthy financier accused of exploiting underage girls and maintaining associations with influential figures across politics, business, and academia. He was arrested in 2019 on sex trafficking charges but died in custody before trial. Subsequent court proceedings led to the release of documents detailing testimonies, contact lists, and recorded associations. Beyond the criminal case, the broader lesson is clear. Social media posts, comments, likes, and even private messages all contribute to an individual's digital footprint. What may seem temporary today can be archived, screenshot, shared, or retrieved years later, potentially affecting careers, relationships, and reputations. Speaking with BCOS News, software engineer and social commentator Babatunde Olachide advised users to carefully scrutinize content before posting online. He noted that information shared on social media is never entirely secure, even if an account is later deleted. Noting that true privacy on social media is limited, as users do not own the platforms or the servers where their data is stored.
By the time you think you want to post anything at all, the first thing is to scrutinize, because whatever go out there, you feel it is safe. But in the reality, it's never safe. Even when your system is stolen, your handles is hacked, anything is hacked, and you feel that everything is wiped away, or you even delete your own accounts, and you feel it's safe. Don't forget that some people kept the record of the platform you are on. So they have it, and if they need to dig back to it, they will dig back to it. And of course, we are now in the advent of AI, that with just a click, everything is up and running, and facts are just very near and not far.
Engineer Olajide reiterated the importance of reviewing posts and comments before sharing them publicly. He advised users to be mindful of individuals within their digital networks and to avoid granting others unrestricted access to posts on their behalf, warning that content shared impulsively or contrary to one's value could have serious long-term consequences. He further stressed that the internet rarely forgets, urging users to avoid emotional reactions online, as digital actions can outlive the moment in which they are made.
While I'm posting, as a user, it is very important to peruse who are in my network of followers, friends. Because if I have the wrong people in my network of followers and friends, they can put me into trouble. Most especially when my settings allow anybody to post on my page. They can post things on my behalf, they can share things on my wall that are contradictory to my values and will stand against me. And in the future, someone will say, yes, it is not you that posted it, but someone posted it on your wall and you did not say anything about it, so you didn't see anything bad about it.
Engineer Olajide also encouraged social media users to conduct regular audits of their online presence, noting that without periodic reviews of past posts and interactions, individuals may face avoidable reputational challenges when old content resurfaces. Fedora Afolagwe, BCOS News.
We now go over to the sports segment of the news. Please don't go anywhere.
Welcome to the sports segment of the evening news. My name is Toby Ajowali.
The Handball Federation of Nigeria Southwest Zone has launched a 4-day train-the-trainer coaching clinic in Lagos. The program, running from March 2nd to March 5 at the Roe Park Sports Center in Yaba, aims to enhance coaching skills and drive handball growth across the region's 6 states. The Zonal office sponsors 3 coaches per state, with 18 in total, with additional participants from local handball academies. Led by the IHF coaching instructor Michael Tangaha, the clinic features theoretical and practical sessions. Southwest Zonal Representative Honorable Benga Ayinde Adewusi, represented by Adegboyega Charles Makinde, praised state support. HFN President Mr. Jubril Seidu urges vision and key stakeholders, including Chief Mrs. Okwefa, for backing the initiative, which fulfills a key campaign promise to elevate the sport nationally. And in women's football, Nigeria Super Falcons delivered a strong response in their pre-WAFCON preparations, thrashing Cameroon's indomitable Lionesses 3-1 in their second friendly in Yaoundé on Tuesday. After a narrow 1-0 loss in the first match, coach Justin Madugu's side flipped the script at the military stadium. Cameroon opened the scoring in the 7th minute, but Chiwendu Ihezuo equalized with a header in the 32nd. Risola Babajide put Nigeria ahead just before halftime, and Michel Alozie sealed the victory with a flying header in the 64th. The result highlights Nigeria's class ahead of the 2026 Women African Cup of Nations in Morocco, set to kick off from March 17th to April 3rd. And in the international scene, US President Donald Trump stated he really doesn't care whether Iran participates in the 2026 FIFA World Cup, co-hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico from June 11th to July 19th. Speaking to Politico amid escalating US-Israel strikes on Iran and retaliatory actions, Trump described Iran as badly defeated and running on fumes. Iran qualified for a 4th straight tournament and faces uncertainty, with their federation head, Mehdi Taj, expressing doubt over participation due to conflict. FIFA maintains focus on a safe event with full involvement, though Iran's group games are slated in the US. And in other football news, Manchester United midfielder 18-year-old Jack Fletcher has apologized after receiving a 6-match ban from the FA using an homophobic slur during October's EFL Trophy match against Barnsley. England under-19 international, son of United legend Darren Fletcher, was sent off in the 62nd minute of their 5-2 defeat. He accepted punishments, including a £1,500 fine and mandatory education program, stating the word was used in the heat of the moment and does not reflect his values. The FA noted it followed opponents' remarks but deemed it an aggravated breach. Finally, in Sport News tonight, UEFA has banned Galatasaray supporters from attending their Champions League last 16 return leg at Liverpool's Anfield on March 18, following the first leg in Istanbul. The sanction, including a €40,000 fine, stems from crowd disturbances with objects thrown and fireworks lit during their February 25 second leg playoff win over Juventus in Turin. Galatasaray plans to appeal the decision.
And that will be all. And it's back to news around the world. My name is Toby Ajwali.
Thanks, Toby, for the sports stories. Israeli strikes have again hit a hotel and a residential complex in the Lebanese capital and Lebanon's east, killing at least 11 people. This comes as the military issued more forced displacement orders across the country and advanced further into Lebanese territory. Foreign News editor Falashade Akintola compiled details of the strike. Our report is presented by Bimbo Akobi.
Israeli forces bombed the Comfort Hotel on the border of Azmir and Babda, which are part of Greater Beirut, Lebanese state media said Wednesday footage verified by the press showed a building with blown-out windows and walls and debris strewn everywhere. A pressman reporting from Beirut said the attack happened without any warning, indicating that this could have been an attempted assassination. There have been further attacks on Beirut's southern suburbs on Wednesday. Israel says it's targeting Hezbollah in the densely populated civilian area. The Israeli military said it is carrying out more attacks on what it called Hezbollah infrastructure in Beirut. More than 50 people have now been killed in Lebanon in Israeli attacks since this front of the war ignited. Russia and China have criticized the United States and Israeli attacks on Iran, with Moscow saying it had seen no evidence that Tehran was developing nuclear weapons and Beijing demanding an immediate halt to the joint attacks. Chinese Minister of Foreign Affairs Wang Yi told his Israeli counterpart Gideon Sa'ar that the attack on Israel came as negotiations between Washington and Tehran had made significant progress Tuesday with Israel and Beijing's apparent efforts to stabilize the spiraling regional situation followed calls Wang made on Monday to discuss the conflict with the foreign ministers of Iran, Oman, and France. Finally, an 8-year-old Queensland girl has been killed after she was seriously injured in a snowmobile accident at a Japanese ski resort. Chloe Jeffries from the Gold Coast was riding on a snowmobile with her mother in Akuba Valley, Nagano Prefecture, on Saturday when it overturned, trapping her underneath. She was airlifted to the hospital but later died. In a tribute from her netball club, Jeffries was remembered for her beautiful nature and her cheeky, infectious smile. Tour operator Akuba Lion Adventure said the vehicle flipped after going up an embankment along a forest road and that police were investigating. And also, Jeffries is the fourth Australian to have died at the Japanese ski resort this year. In a statement, the tour company's CEO Shinji Wada said the tragic accident happened just before 1100 hours local time on Saturday. The tour was made up of 9 snowmobiles, including 3 guides, he said. Wada said it had cancelled all its snowmobile and snowshoe tours until further notice, and it will conduct a review of its operations and safety procedures. Bimbo Akambi, BCOS News.
To end news around the world, here again are the top stories. President Bola Tinubu has sworn in Olatunji Disu as the substantive Inspector General of Police (IGP) during a ceremony held at the Council Chambers, State House, Abuja. The Oyo State Police Command has confirmed the successful rescue of a kidnapped victim in the Igbeti area of the state. We also told you that Israeli strikes have again hit a hotel and a residential complex in the Lebanese capital and Lebanon's east, killing at least 11 people. The BCOS website is live. Kindly visit us at www.bcostv.com. You can also watch us on GoTV, channel 134, and on StarTimes, channel 113. Now, before I go, don't join hoodlums in threatening the peaceful coexistence of the country, for it is only in an atmosphere of peace that development thrives. That's news around the world. Many thanks for watching. Have yourself a wonderful night rest. Good night.